Hey look, Pixel Gun 3D! Or as I like to say, oh god, Pixel Gun 3D! You might know Pixel Gun 3D as a pay-to-win mobile game that shamelessly steals Minecraft textures. Or the string of 3 words I just said 3 times in the past 15 seconds. But I know Pixel Gun 3D as something different. Childhood trauma. Look, I'm not here to give an encyclopedic knowledge on the game's history and development. There are videos on this platform that could do a much better job at that than I ever could. You see, what I am doing, because the game came to PC like a year ago, is making a challenge video where I try to get 3 stars in every level in what used to be my favorite part of the game. The single player campaign. Look, at a very young age I was a loner in real life, and that bled into my gaming life for some reason. Fucking gaming life. But this kind of fell apart when I realized in order to unlock the 4th and final world, you need to get every single star in the first 3 worlds. First of all, I want to break the knees of the person who made this decision. Nobody should be subjugated to this. Secondly, this ruins the point of this being a challenge video, if majority of the challenge is already mandatory for beating the game normally. I also had this little side challenge where I couldn't use any of the broken items, only these level 1 weapons and the weapons the campaign gives me, and also this piece of armor because I forgot to remove it. But that was more of a rule of the challenge, and not the challenge itself. Anyways, probably a bigger reason this isn't a challenge video is because I failed. You can't make me do it, man. You can't make me. Michael, don't leave me here, Michael. This game broke me, man. This was generally a miserable experience that devolved into just like looking for where on the map you can stand to cause the enemies to bug out, spontaneously aging 80 years and having them walk like they have Parkinson's. This is probably the worst video game I've ever played. I don't know if that says much because I'm not the one to actively search for bad video games like this, and especially not finish them. I'm no angry video game nerd. I'm the happy video game jock. I'm not a jock, I'm not fit. Nor am I happy. Start the video game. Cool. I don't know. Awesome. For what? I don't care. I'm just trying to open the game. Go away. Just stop. Go away. I'm just trying to open the game. What's that? Oh my god, is that the Slender Man right there? Oh my god. Yeah, it took me a long time to record this video. So long I got a new microphone during the middle of recording the gameplay. So that's why the mic quality is worse during the first world. Our story begins with our hero, Newbie. Yes, that's his real name. Living on his quaint little farm near San Blasio, sleeping until he hears a noise coming from outside his house. And like any good American, his first instinct is to pull out a gun. Anyway, zombies. Gaming time. Oh jeez, Jimmy. Yep, this is what this is gonna be. Pretty standard first level, not much to say. Nice, humble farm. Shows how the levels in this game are gonna work. Big open cubes with enemies dumped everywhere. Kinda like a horde mode, but like really boring. Don't understand how we didn't wake up earlier, because our house is fucked up. Enemies in this game just kinda walk up to you in a straight line, then do a really slow melee attack when they're close enough. I think now is a good time to explain how to get 3 stars. Each star has a different requirement that is shared between every level in the game. You must get the 3 requirements in one attempt to get the triple star. The first star you get by simply completing the level. The second star you get by completing the level on hard difficulty. Difficulty affects the speed of the enemies apparently, and the strength of the enemies, and their health by like a fuck ton, like way too much. This is awful. Now for the third and final star, you are not allowed to take a single piece of damage in your HP bar. It doesn't mean you can't take any damage, as I originally thought. You can still take damage, but only to your armor bar. If a single sliver of damage makes it to that juicy red rectangle, just look at it, I want to suckle on that thing. It's done. You're finished. You have to restart the whole level to get that juicy triple star. Oh boy. What fun. I think ammo is gonna be the biggest concern when doing all 5 stars. Can we just like lose in or run to a guy? Epic freaking boss time! Oh jeez, that's just an epic freaking boss right there. Yep, the bosses are just normal enemies but even more of a damage sponge. With all these damage sponges, I wonder when SpongeBob is gonna show up. It's me, SpongeBob. Hey guys, it's me, Patrick. What are you doing, SpongeBob? Hey Patrick, I'm playing Pixel Gun 3D. I wanna fucking kill myself. After defeating the zombie cop, our hero does whatever this is. He goes to the church because he hears somebody yelling. This level is pretty bad. Just hang out in this open graveyard area and you'll be good. If there's a modicum of open flat space, you can just use it to circle around the enemies until you need ammo. This will be a common thing throughout the majority of the game's levels. Epic freaking boss time! After killing this ghost and taking its gun, gotta stay strapped in the afterlife, I guess. Our hero finds the man he was searching for. Fucking dead. You can actually find him inside the map in this concept of a maze the map has. Oh my god, it's a dead guy! No! Anyways, our hero finds an evacuation plan off of this man, and gets to the city in an epic GTA Minecraft mod police car epic Minecraft mod showcase. GTA. Yo! Is that Minecraft old plank texture, and Minecraft oak door texture. Despite that, this level is pretty neat. Cluster enough so it isn't open enough, where you can just circle around the enemies the entire time, while giving the level a lot of neat details that help it portray the theme of a ruined city, with the barricades, wrecked vehicles, emergency tents, and most importantly, PG K K Pete PGK cop. All covered by an orange sky. Also, there's now an enemy that walks up to you and fires a slow-moving projectile. Truly, an innovation in technology. Epic freaking boss time! Oh, it's just a reskin version of the first boss. With 10 billion more health. This is gonna suck. All was going well for me, but I got too cocky and got hit twice, making this the first time I failed the HP star. So back to the start with me. My goodness, what was that? Anyways, after our hero kills whatever this thing is, and gets a new secondary weapon of the old revolver, which, fun fact, according to the game's weapon stat screen, the old revolver is just worse than the default pistol. Guess I wasn't supposed to have this. But the game didn't tell me shit. Oh look, a hospital entry card. Oh look, a hospital. I got like nothing, man. This level was fine, I guess. It's built like a 3x3 grid, so the optimal strat is to circle around the outer part of the map. This works especially on the boss, who moves slower than my grandma. My grandma's dead, by the way. Aesthetically, this level does a decent job at selling the destroyed hospital vibe, with the lobby TV having the emergency alert system on that I perfectly replicated the noise of with my voice. Along with these side rooms that house tons of yummy treats. This is probably the refrigerator. After defeating the boss and grabbing his AK mini, and not his chainsaw for some reason, we are 4 levels in and only got 1 weapon that isn't a primary. Oh boy, the next level's a bridge. Good thing I have 1 joke about this being a bridge. That was a bad idea. This level's pretty decent, I would say. Similar to the city both in theming and with gameplay. Both levels being large spaces with tons of wreckage lying around, so you can't just run around in a circle in one spot of the map. Yo, is that the boss from the first level as a normal enemy? Can't wait for that to happen to the boss of the second level. This is where I found out if you stand on a certain point of the map, usually in higher elevation above an enemy, their AI just implodes and starts moving at 1 mile per hour. It's not like the guy here doesn't know where I am to go hit me. He is pathfinding towards me. He is trying to climb up in front of the truck to hit me. He's just very slow for some reason. This will be very important later. The boss for this level is actually different from the ones that came before. Instead of having the melee enemy AI, he has the ranged enemy AI.
Does this guy have the same noise as the red spider?
Oh no! How will our hero, Spider King 326, deal with the seemingly impossible foe? So I got him stuck on a bus. Then I ran out of ammo. And I'm not even close to killing him.
There's that much health left?
Looking back at this footage after beating the rest of the game, this is rather quaint compared to the shit you have to put up with later in the game. After taking 7 minutes to kill the boss, even though it felt like 30. Why are the enemies so bulky? My least favorite way video games artificially increase their difficulty is increasing the enemy's health by like a shit ton, like they do here. It makes this game so much more tedious and unsatisfying. Especially, like here, when the boss only has one single boring attack. After getting another primary weapon, our hero gets cornered by a bunch of enemies at the edge of the bridge and jumps. Come on, bro, you could have just like walked past them. And he swims to the prison island where the helicopter he was chasing has crash landed. This is one of the better levels in the game. Notice how I did not say good. None of the levels in the game are good because the natural gameplay of the game that all of the levels use is bad and not enjoyable, and therefore every level in this game is not enjoyable. But comparing them all, this is one of the better ones. I mean, it has an extremely pixelated photo of American actress Rita Hayworth in one of the prison cells. What more can you ask? It's used as visual storytelling for how the prisoners try to escape the prison. Along with that, there is a basketball court where I spent most of my time on the map circling the outside of it. And some electric chairs. I hope when I get to descend to the electric chair for the crimes I am going to do against the developers of this game, that the chair has a Minecraft oak log texture on it. Speaking of electric chairs, it seems like this level's boss has the headpiece of an electric chair burned to the top of his head, actually causing an area around him to do chip damage if you step into it, along with a regular melee attack. I think it would have been neat for a little bit of extra visual storytelling if there was a second electric chair room, but the chair was destroyed or something, showing that the top piece of the electric chair that's stuck on the boss's head originally belonged to that destroyed chair. Here, when fighting the boss, I realized I can rocket jump with my fireworks launcher without even taking any damage. This will become extremely important later. I cannot undermine that. This will be the most important thing. After killing the boss, we get a light machine gun, which goes into the special slot. Look, I'm not complaining, but just like looking at the gun, I thought it was gonna be a primary. Our hero finds the crashed helicopter he was chasing for, and finds a top secret map for Area 52. Yeah, sure, whatever, man. But our hero must pass through this park. Forest. Oh boy, I cannot wait to see what's in this level. Oh my god. Is that Freddy Fazbear?
Hey guys, it's me. And I just wanted to come here and say, rest in peace to Queen Elizabeth.
I do not understand what's to do with this game's weird hyperfixation with Slender Man. Like, Slender Man is one of the default skin choices you have when you boot up the game. That's why I'm using this Slender Man skin. I did not put this in the game to be funny like a Minecraft skin. The game gave me this. So this level has 3 enemies: Slender Man with the legs of the red guy, and a weird bear thing. They all make bear noises. Also, they have 0 range attacks. And remember how I learned I could freely rocket jump with the fireworks launcher. But don't stand on the top of the trailer, they can melee you through the ceiling. The level itself is very open, aside from this area inside the central rock hill thing. Shoutouts to the leafless talking trees that look completely different than the rest of the trees in the level, that suspiciously look like the Minecraft oak texture. I'm just saying. This is the part where instead of saying how cracked the boss is, I would show you my unedited reaction. But my mic messed up during the recording session for the start of this level, and also level 6. And I sound like a Waddle Dee from the modern Kirby games. So here's my live Waddle Dee reaction. Oh, very cool boss fight. I love the part where the Big Daddy Slender Man teleported right on top of me and hit me with a move that lasted a third of a second. Very fair and balanced. After my second attempt, where I just flailed around with my fireworks launcher, I quit for the day. It wouldn't be so bad if after every attempt, I had to start the level from scratch, killing these boring bullet sponges, technically called enemies again. I was just not in the mood. But when we are faced with a great challenge, we must consult the greats for guidance. Old Pixel Gun YouTuber, Exotic Gaming, please, in these trying times, tell us, what would you do?
Think I'm gonna just let them ban me and then get away with it? Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'll just try a more patient route. Never mind. He's just too scary. I mean, he is the Slender Man after all. What? Why are you stuck in a tree? So here I learned that Slender Man will try and teleport on the closest piece of land that's on the same elevation as you. So if I rocket jump into open air and I am on the same height as this tree, Slender Man will teleport to that tree and not the ground below me. And Slender Man will not fall down the tree until he teleports again. Meaning, I could rocket jump whenever he teleports, which I'm pretty sure is on like a set timer, making him just kind of stuck in a tree. The two problems with this strategy is running out of ammo on the fireworks launcher, because he is extremely tanky, because of course he is, and just fucking up my timing.
Oh my god, what was that, bro? What? Why? Well, that sure is a shotgun. Oh boy, another primary. Now, 8 ammo. Magic shield!
Not wanting to dwell on this level for too long, I decided it was just a better idea to move on and come back when I get better weapons. Got it? Speaking of weapons, we get another primary. It's a shotgun, so at least it's unique. And you get 2 shells per ammo pickup, which is not fun. Man, where the fuck did all my ammo go, man? After leaving the forest, let's go into Area 52. Alright, destroy facility. Okay, weird LED sci-fi boxes. Very neat. Oh my god. Is that a wide, completely open room with 2 item spawns inside of it? You can't even imagine what I did this entire level. Which is kind of a shame because there are some other interesting looking rooms in this level. But why go into them? It's just an unnecessary risk. Look at how tight this hallway is. I'm not going into that hallway, man. The nice thing about this level is that all the enemies have a low amount of health, so I didn't have to play it for that long. As for the boss, it's just a stronger version of the ranged alien enemy with a big brain. Yeah, there's a ranged version of the alien enemies. For some reason, I only saw one of these during the main level. Anyways, here's him stuck on one of the UFO's legs. Cool, another reason to stay in this room the entire level. After getting a new alien pistol, which is not a direct downgrade to the default pistol the game gives you, Banks, our hero finds a scientist hiding in the UFO. How did the aliens on the stage not find him? I have no idea. But he tells our hero that the zombie apocalypse originated from the school nearby. So our hero catches a cool ride and heads to the school, with a ton of guns in his pocket. Remember how I said the last level had enemies with smaller reasonable health bars? Yeah, that's not true here. This level makes me want to castrate myself. God, why won't anything die? Out of all the levels so far ignoring the bosses, this level took me the most amount of tries to get how tanky D's weird buff BDSM mask wearing head ass. Wait, why is this in a school? What am I looking at here? Pyramid Head Minion? By the way, Pyramid Head was the boss of this level, but got replaced with a bunch of World 1's bosses. Kinda fell into a rhythm when playing this level where I shot everyone in this open courtyard area in the middle of the map. And then when I ran out of ammo, I would circle the entire map, or at least like a good half circle. Also, fuck this hallway vent thing. Why is it so tight? I can't strafe here. Or instead of that rhythm, I did whatever this is. But I'm going to be positive for a bit. I do like the aesthetics of this level, being this haunted, dark, twisted school from the darkest part of my dark, twisted mind. With the words "help me" on the chalkboard written in blood. I'm pretty sure this is meant to be a fridge or freezer, but evil. My personal favorite room is this classroom with all the desks hanging upside down and papers floating everywhere. The sounds of a baby laughing in the background. As if a child were playfully haunting his room, causing all this chaos just for fun. Considering this is the final level of the world, the boss must be some epic encounter, right? It's just some guy. What's interesting about him is that unlike the alien boss from the last level, he shoots a very fast projectile, meaning you must play more tactically. World 1. Oh, I just circle strafed him in the courtyard. Okay. After finally beating the world, I was very happy and wanted to continue playing the game. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. It sucks so much. Anyways, I stopped playing for a month and got a new microphone. World 2, everybody. Oh boy, after that first world of post-apocalyptic versions of basic real-world locations, and also Area 52, I wonder what's in store in World 2. Hey kids, do you like bland versions of grass, desert, snow, and fire levels? Wait a minute, I hate New Super Mario Bros. You know, in the Pixel Gun wiki on fandom, it says this world is based on the world of Minecraft. Yeah, I think it's more than just this world, bud. So, the first level wait, where is the little intro card for the level? Why is it only in World 1? Either have it for every level or for none, because I am really confused right now, and I don't like it! Alright, the first level begins with our hero teleporting into this new world, and sees a little girl getting attacked by a chicken man. And then our hero goes, can't wait to put that in my mouth. Then the chicken escapes or something because he is the boss of this level, and we have to kill his
25.
closest friends first. Man, this is probably the worst level yet. Remember how I talked about flat open levels are bad because they lead to really boring gameplay? Just backpedaling in a circle away from the enemies without any contention? Yeah, this is probably the worst case of that in the entire game. There are some hills and trees and shit, but they don't affect anything. The vibe of this level sure is of a happy forest village. Very fitting for the activity of shooting zombies in the face. I guess the houses look abandoned with their chairs knocked over. Shoutouts to video game towns with a grand total of 4 buildings in them. I would prefer if the level was composed of many rows of houses. Probably more interesting to play around, being more cramped and all. Things I like about this level is that you're able to see the floating islands level in the skybox, which is also a thing other levels in this world do. Kinda like Super Mario Sunshine, where you're able to see Penna Park for the main plaza. I like it when games do this. It makes the world seem more connected. Adds a level of anticipation, as you can physically see an area that's later in the game. Also, the girl from the cutscene is here, which is also a thing many levels in this world do. I don't know why she's here though. Girl, you should probably move before you get ganked. Anyways, done being positive, we are back to bosses just being basic melee enemies with 10 billion in health that have no extra gimmick. Then I got really mad. I mean, it's kind of fast. Can he get up here? What the fuck is he doing? Good thing he's stuck. Can't wait to lose all my ammo to a boss being stuck on the geometry again. This game is awful. This is an awful video game. Who made this? How can you let this happen in your video game? Do you not play your do you not play your own video game? How do you let this happen? Am I playing like red light, green light, red light, green light with your boss? Why can't I do this? It's like the solution is make them so tanky you lose all your ammo. You have to retreat from your hiding spot of like a house. You can just like jump on from this. Okay. Our boss AI is broken. How do you fix it? Just make them like have 1 billion health. That's the solution. I'm going insane. This isn't how. I'm not even like doing like a cheese strat with like this thing and jumping on like an area I can't like normally get to. After getting a sniper rifle, which will be my carry for the rest of the game, the girl explains to us what caused the zombie apocalypse in the homeworld. One day we all started digging the schoolyard for a reason. Then we found a portal. Short of you say, man. Then we went through it, and I woke up the dragon. Man, this shit's so ass. Then he sent monsters into our world. And I think I think that is my fault. But I know where the dragon. Wait, why does he know where the dragon lives? So I'm kinda confused about how in the cutscene, it makes it seem like the portal in the school teleports them directly to the dragon. But when our hero uses the portal, it teleports him to the village. So did the girl forget to mention when the school football team venture through these treacherous lands? Maybe I'm just giving the plot to Pixel Gun 3D too much brain power. Moving on to the next level. I mean, it's better than the last one, which isn't saying much. The whole ancient Egyptian structure theme fits with the activity of shooting zombies way more than a happy forest village. I know I'm complaining a lot about how generic this world's levels are, when you can call the first world a generic zombie apocalypse, and also whatever these two levels are. But at least in World 1, almost all of its levels go into more depth in this one theme. Unlike here, where each level has a very cooker-cutter version of whatever theme it's going for. Also, World 1 has an American actress, Rita Hayworth, so what do you have to say about that? The girl at least got to a high up place so the enemies can't get to her. Never mind. I mean, it's so the level is cheese-proof, but it looks stupid. Anyways, the gameplay for this level is running around the Sphinx like a shitty Family Guy bit, and going into this, what I think is a concept of a maze for ammo.
Ah, it's behind me.
I find it kinda neat that the boss with the gimmick that you have to hit a specific point on his body to do damage is the level right after you get the sniper rifle.
Oh, are you kidding me? Why does that? Are you? I'm gonna kill myself.
After killing him, we get the flamethrower. Did they forget to update the dropped flamethrower model when they changed the regular flamethrower model? Which uses a shitty green screen flame effect. This does not fit in with the rest of the game's visuals at all. Next, our heroes reach the floating islands we've been seeing and find some flying pigs. Then our hero goes, can't wait to put that in my mouth. I don't get what we're doing here. Are we making some sort of sandwich? We got the sand from the desert, chicken from the village, and pork here. Bro, I got nothing. This level went one ear out the other, man. I circled the map once, killed all the enemies because there's only 15 of them on this map, which is space, by the way. Then I did whatever this is to the boss. The only interesting thing about this level is that it was originally a multiplayer map, which is true for other levels in the campaign. I just didn't mention it yet. And after we killed the boss, we got the signal pistol, which allows us to rocket jump like with the fireworks launcher. So, now acquiring this, I wonder what I did in the next level. After eating a roasted pig, which I hope is not the boss one. Personally, just by looking at it, I would not eat that one. We head down to the Winter Island and find a Minecraft snowman. I know Minecraft did not copyright the idea of having a pumpkin as a snowman's head, but like, come on, man. Here I found something very important.
I'm gonna change my. Wait, what? I can change that mid-level? Hold up, give me a second. I found something incredibly weird.
As for the level itself, it sure is a nice level. Without ice physics. I don't know if I should call it lazy or based. There is an ice castle in the middle of the level, with zero reason to go in it. I'm pretty sure there are 0 item pickups in there. You can see the next fire level in the distance. That's pretty cool. The music reminds me of a hotel lobby more than it does an actual snow level. Man, I got nothing. I just rocket jumped to a high place and shot down everybody. Which I also did to the boss. And after we kill it, we get the... a portal. No new weapon? Okay. Alright, Hell Castle time. Finally. A level I can talk about. You can tell the game is cool because it uses hell instead of heck. Or whatever Map Hat uses. As for the level itself, it looks really bad. I know this game isn't the most appealing thing to the eye, but this weird structure surrounded by a fence and a massive flat stone surface and a cave with random holes in the walls, it all looks really weird. Also, is this structure meant to be the sought after Hell Castle? The building on Winter Island looks more like a castle than this thing. And much like that snow building, there is no reason to go inside of this thing.
This is too tight. Like, the last couple levels were too... It's not like it's too tight or too like open, it's both. It's just some of the levels... Yeah... Why is it... It's like, oh hey, here's like the tightest corridors ever. But also here's like a massive open area you can just like avoid them with.
All 4 item spawns are outside. Hell Castle? More like my personal hell, because I went insane playing this level.
freaking out of me. I'm going insane. What's happening to me? What? I think I'm hallucinating right now. I don't remember falling. I remember like walking off the ledge and then just kind of appearing in front of this guy. My brain cut out like a couple seconds of my eyes.
I don't know why that happened, man. Man, I wish there was an easy way for me to cheese this level. Oh, hey there, coin.
I think I'm going insane. I'm like hallucinating right now. I'm not like fully awake. Who was that? Oh, you got... see, I'm gonna go shoot a dog. Oh, that... Oh, I'm not doing this any... No. I don't know what you're meant to do with this. I don't know what you're meant to... How? I went behind the wall. I'm not... No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. No.
I know this clip paints me as someone who bitches and complains whenever they face any sort of challenge. But the extreme bullshit difficulty of the boss, that's not the main problem. The problem is that after every attempt, I have to replay through the most mind-numbing gameplay of all time for like 30 minutes. Then the boss spawns in, and I die like 2 seconds in. But it's the next day, and the boss isn't going to kill itself. Probably. Alright. Do your work. Oh. Okay, cool. I somehow lost after learning this. I don't want to talk about it. But then in the next attempt, I beat him. This boss marks a pretty pivotal moment in the game, where before excluding the Slender Man boss, everything felt pretty reasonable enough to do. But from here on out, you will see what I mentioned in the beginning of the video, where every level it feels like I have to find a way to cheese the enemy AI to get 3 stars. After we enter another portal, so no weapon? The girl explains that this portal is the portal to the Dragon's Island. How does she know this? I don't know, but supports my theory of the high school football team going through fucking Egypt. Also shoutouts to the portal on Winter Island, which story-wise literally takes us nowhere because our heroes go to the Hell Castle on an ice raft instead of being teleported there. I'm just saying this to avoid talking about the actual level because what do I talk about? It's a circle. Ignoring similarities to another piece of interactive media, this is the worst level in the game. Obviously, it's a circle with some pillars that you can't even cheese the enemies on top of because there's an invisible wall that blocks that. Large image of an asterisk appears on screen. I haven't brought this up yet earlier because like who cares, but in every level there's a hidden coin and gem. And they're hidden decently well. But on this level, they're both just kind of hanging out on the edge of the island behind a pillar. Because where else are you gonna put them? The map's a circle. Anyways, the boss is the dragon. This is where the asterisk comes in.
Why is this so fucking fast? Well, I see the win condition. Good thing I have to play that entire level again to just you know, that's so fun. I have to play like the worst level in the game, the most time-consuming, nothing boring level in the game to get to this point back again because I didn't know that I could do this because the map is broken and they don't play test their game. So I could just do this to the boss. He was like over here for some reason. I hate this. When I stand on this, they all go over there. I don't know why they do that. Finally, bro. and enter the portal. I just don't think the game's gonna give us any more weapons. I'm gonna be real with you.
So the final cutscene of this world is the dragon gaslighting us and using the fact that everything is a cube as a scapegoat for the hordes of monsters they sent into the real world, calls the cubes a bigger problem, even though throughout the whole game, we've seen zero negative consequences, or any consequences whatsoever, from everything being made of cubes. Even the stuff you would think would have problems, like cars. But there are many instances of vehicles working just fine, even though their tires are literally squares. Compared to the dragon's monsters, who we have seen kill people. Clearly, the squares are the bigger problem. Anyways, our heroes believe this, and this is the motive for World 3, the Cross Worlds. How come every world there's less and less levels? From 9 to 6 to now 5. I'm not complaining, it means there's less of this game for me to play. But before we get to that, look at this cool thing I found.
Make sure you have a real good companion. I like to bring my hunting dog. If you don't have a good dog, this dog can hunt. Name's Coco. Don't let the size fool you. She's all business with.
Anyways, back to yo bonus gun?
Alright, fellas, it's me back again with more awful content. Yep.
World 3 opens up with our heroes flying on the dragon onto this mysterious island. And we were forced to separate from the dragon because of magic force field. Fuck you, you stupid dragon, I guess. Sorry. Crazy how this is the first level of World 3 and it's already better than everything in World 2. It's not like it's peak fiction or anything. I wouldn't even call it good. But I think it's neat. The theme of the swamp I find much more unique and interesting than all the ones seen in World 2 aside from the final level. Which is the only thing that level has over this one. I like the image here with the castle cloaked in fog, lightning striking ominously behind it. The castle is next level, by the way. This level actually has some environmental hazards, forcing you to have more spatial awareness, besides falling into the void on a few maps, or bumping into a wall. Like these thorny plants that do some chip damage, and this lava that fucking kills you. Of course, this level has some problems, like these tree enemies being obnoxiously tanky, and you can just stand on these trees and cheese the level. Also, the girl is gone, even though story-wise, she is still with us. Anyways, the boss for this level is a giant enemy spider. It's just like any other boss. It's nothing special. After not getting a weapon again, I guess the bonus gun is the only gun we're gonna get. We find the key to the castle, and we do a classic breaking and entering. The wizard even invites us for dinner, but we go nuh-uh and shoot up the place. Also, this level is just the throne room. Like, where's the outside area? Or other interior rooms like the dining room? Oh boy, I'm getting flashbacks already. Oh look, the level 2 boss is a regular enemy now. Cool. Also, this guy's shield doesn't do anything.
They're moving fast. What the fuck?
Just look at this hitbox. You can't even look at it because there's no particle effects to indicate how big the splash radius is. I tried again, until I decided, you know what? I'm a man of science, and I'm going to experiment. So I went to easy mode, got all my broken multiplayer weapons in the back of the armory, and went to see where I could rocket jump in this level. During this experimenting, I found out if you stand on top of the statue when the boss spawns in, the boss would do that slow moving thing, making me able to do half of his health before he got close enough to start shooting me. I thought this would be enough to beat him, but after attempt and attempt, I got so mad, I went screw it, and went back to try and restart the Slenderman Forest again. I failed on the first attempt, but I figured out if you stand on this fence, Slenderman cannot teleport next to you, or reach you at all. So on the second attempt, I kinda just Anyways, back to the wizard or something. So what if I try to go up the window for him? Wow, cool, he can't do anything, neat. I feel no pride, no sense of accomplishment. You know, in the old Perseus story, he didn't defeat Medusa in a grand epic battle, where he had to use his strength and wits to overcome his enemy. No, Perseus killed Medusa in her sleep. That's basically what I did here. The boss couldn't do anything against me. Look at this gameplay. An armless baby on his mommy's iPad could do this. I didn't pop off. I didn't feel proud of myself. I was just overcome by this feeling of, thank God that's over. Anyway, after we beat up that fucking wizard I hate, he explains why the world is square. When the world was made, it had circle. I'm so old. When one day, a guy with two heads went not that you're gonna cringe and turned the world square. Now go to Earth and find the guy who could fix this. I'm so old. Then we entered this portal and, oh no, we've been tricked by the wizard and are stuck on an alien satellite. You know what this means? Enemies with reasonable amounts of health. And now they have jetpacks. And this little orb that does pitiful damage. Meaning they can just fly up to any high place on the map. Meaning you can't cheese them by going into these places. Which I think is a pretty cool in-universe way of doing that. And that doesn't look as unnatural as this. But for some reason, the aliens can't fly over to this UFO platform. And the projectile enemies just don't shoot at you. So don't worry, you can still cheese them. Also, if you stand far back enough on the UFO and shoot an enemy on like the big platform space station, far enough away that's in its standard wandering AI, they will just freeze? I don't know why that happens. My fear for all this weird stuff is that they added the UFO platform as a last minute addition to the level, and then they didn't change jack shit to compensate. So I just shot every enemy on the edge of the UFO along with the boss of the level. It was fairly easy, minus an incident when restocking ammo. Shoutouts to the boss for actually having visible splash effects on their projectile, unlike that bitch ass wizard I hate. Even if the splash radius is comically massive. Man, I hope that regular enemies don't begin to use projectiles like this. You can never guess what happens next. After we defeat the aliens, we take their UFO down to Earth, where the army thinks we are aliens, and then we just kinda just start fighting. Like not even a scene of our heroes taking off their space gear and going, Look, I'm American, not alien. I have green card. Look here, this, no UFO, it is helicopter. Can I put that in? I don't know if I should put that in or not, I don't. Then the army man goes, oh my god, the aliens are disguising themselves as human! Or something like that to explain why we don't resolve the conflict by talking to the army, instead of bashing my head into the wall for 3 hours. By the way, I hate this level. Which is really a shame because this level is pretty unique compared to the rest in the game. Like the layout being extremely vertical, with tons of pitfalls, being much more of a threat than any other level in the game, including the one that takes place on Sky Islands. Continuing with the level's uniqueness are the enemies. I hate the enemies here. You know, since we're fighting a human army, they have guns, like bullet guns, but they don't really act like a ranged enemy. They act more like a melee enemy. Instead of attacking you when they're like 2 centimeters in front of you, they basically have this massive orb surrounding them that if you enter, you just start taking damage. And you know, since this level is very vertical, and since the enemies in this game bunch up together, you may fall into the orbs of many gunners and all your health will just magically disappear. But those guys aren't that much of a problem even with their longer range. You can still pretty easily get away from it. And with the exception of the example I just gave, they don't do that much damage. No, the real problem is these guys. The rocket soldiers. Words cannot describe how much I hate the rocket soldiers. There have been so many times where if I was outside the rocket splash radius, then I get biffed for more than 50% of my armor. Or when I'm shooting one rocket soldier, Then another comes in from left field and bashes my head open with a steel chair. It doesn't help that all the level's item drops are scattered across the map where you can easily run head first into a gutter man while circling the map. I have no source to this, but I swear there's a higher percentage chance for the item pickups to spawn as a resource you already have a surplus of.
It's so annoying because this game just doesn't give me armor. If like the drops were consistent and like they give me stuff that I need, they never give me the stuff I need.
The game's against me. I did the math. The game, they know who I am. They recognize my voice. You've seen me cheese levels from being above everything. Now, get ready to see me cheese the level from being below everything. Never mind, that didn't work. Struggling for options, I recalled a moment from the castle level where I went into my army to swap weapons and swore I saw the projectiles of the enemies before I paused to go into the armory disappear when I unpaused. And doing it on this level, yep, it works. Why? I can only guess the reason being it's too much on the game to load everything on the map and load all the stuff that's in the armory. And to compensate, the game just deletes all the projectiles on the map. That's only a guess, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Also, I learned that swapping weapons in the armory automatically reloads them. I see this as a decision with only multiplayer in mind, because in multiplayer it's in real time. So going into the menu to reload probably takes as long or longer than actually reloading your gun. Not to mention you can't move while menuing. None of that matters in single player because the game pauses when you go into the armory. I just stood on top of a building where the regular soldiers couldn't get to me, I think. I'm pretty sure there was a path they were using to get to me, but they were doing the thing where enemies move at like 1 mile per year, so that didn't really matter. And after killing the rocket soldiers... I picked off the regular gunmen and began to fight the boss of the level. And he's already stuck. Also, I forgot to mention this, but like when you hit one of the gunmen, it sounds like they say the F word. After screaming for a couple of hours, our heroes use the army's jetpacks to find and break into some random dude's house. This random person is the great creator we are looking for. I have no idea how our heroes knew this was the place they needed to go to, but okay.
Yo, is that a game that doesn't exist anymore? I was in the middle of creating a wonderful game when I made irrecoverable code error when irrecoverable code error was made. And all of a sudden the bug appeared, changing the game code, then the whole world began to transform.
So I have one question. When did this happen? Because the wizard and the dragon made it seem like it happened eons ago. But in the creator's flashback, he doesn't look like that much younger than he does now. And there's modern technology in the flashback. So noting this all down, shouldn't Newbie remember when the world was normal? Or at least his parents should have and told him about it. Why is the dragon the first person to bring this up with our heroes? Maybe it's because it isn't a problem in this universe. I have only been told that it's a problem while not seeing any evidence of it. It's fucking show don't tell. I'm pretty sure they tell you this in elementary school. Then our hero puts on this Ready Player One epic gamer headset and says the worst one-liner of all time. Starting with the actual level. Oh my god, my eyes. Man, I sure do love the Matrix. And reskin versions of past enemies. At least I think it's easy bits of falling code from the sky. But all I did the entire level was staying on top of this tree and shooting down at the enemies, only leaving and circling around the entire map to get ammo. The only thing keeping me sane was this bop in the background. Does this very upbeat theme fit at all for the final level of the world? No. But I don't give a fuck right now. Man, do you see this gameplay? The boss of this world is the evil bug I like its design. Maybe I'm just a fan of asymmetry and big hulking bruiser designs. It kind of reminds me of the mutant zombie from that one Minecraft mod. You know, the one in popular MMOs challenge games. Put up the image of popular MMOs mugshot real quick. He teleports like Slenderman, and remember how I beat Slenderman by standing on this really thin fence? Yeah, I did the same thing but with this leafless tree, or whatever this pillar is meant to be. Only swooping down to grab ammo if the bug just teleported to a place he can't get to me, because the teleportation is on a timer. You know, for the final level of the world, I have very little to say about it. Just like the final level of the last world. Have you heard about Santa Claus starring Tim Allen? No, actually, I haven't heard of that. Well, you just got Santa Claus starring Tim Allen. No. Oh my god, is that a game that no longer exists? Oh my god, is that a social media platform that no longer exists? Now moving on to World 4. I have played the past 3 worlds on mobile a long time ago, but never played World 4. But I'm not necessarily going in completely blind. I do know some things about the world. This is just my first time actually playing it. So let's begin World 4, the virtual worlds. Yo, bonus square? Our story opens up with our hero just kinda hanging out in cyberspace, making a cheeky reference how there was a 3-year gap between the release of World 3 and World 4. Yeah, if you're wondering, this is definitely why I haven't played World 4 up until now. Then a spaceship comes out of nowhere, grabs us, then motherfucking Morpheus from the Matrix comes in, asks us for help defending the spaceship. Oh my god, new weapons! Defend the generators! And you wanna know the strangest thing about this level? I actually enjoyed it.
I'm actually having fun right now. I mean, I kinda having fun, like, this is better than... This isn't supposed to happen. I meant that I hate this game, right?
Alright, let's start with the weapons. You might have noticed that all my other weapons have disappeared, because for this entire world, you can only use the weapon the game gives you, and none from your armory. Like, that shit is gone. The army's not even in the pause menu anymore. But don't worry, you can still do the projectile deletion cheese with the settings menu instead. You might say this is a bad thing because I have less weapons, but have you considered these weapons actually do damage? As for the weapons themselves, the bad code, the weapon we got from the final boss of the last world, is only here so you can rocket jump with it. The weapon's damage is not on par with the rest of the new arsenal of weapons. And speaking of being not on par, I love how the new weapons have detailed textures, multiple moving parts, but the bad code looks like this. As for the other two, in the primary slot, the system admin is a standard assault rifle. Good damage, I like the model, feels good to shoot. And in the secondary pistol slot is the flash drive, which with one bullet shoots a 3 projectile burst that does surprisingly good damage for a pistol. You can technically rocket jump with the projectiles, but this has only been a hindrance to me. Now for a reason why I actually like the level. Defending the generators. Well, not that much of a major change on the surface. You still have to kill a certain number of enemies than a boss. But these generators in some way actually fixes one of my biggest problems with the campaign, and that being the enemy AI. No, the enemy AI hasn't suddenly changed. They're still as dumb as they were before. I mean, there's a new enemy archetype introduced in this level. Walks up to you and explodes, who gets hard countered by like moving an inch. Their explosion radius is comically small. Literally a free kill, doesn't even waste ammo. What I actually mean is that the generators make the simple AI less of an issue, because in every other level, your attention is entirely on killing these boring enemies, and maybe some things on the map geometry. While on this level, your main focus isn't on the enemies, but instead checking to make sure there aren't some birds attacking the G generators located on the 2 floors of the small ship. If the enemies aren't going to be interesting to fight, there should be a unique secondary objective, like seen on this level, to make the level itself interesting. As for the level geometry, the ship itself is very small and concise. It's a smaller part of a multiplayer map. That's why there are non-functional bounce pads on the side. But I think it's still a pretty solid play area. And did I mention friends that have a completely different art style compared to the rest of the game? Like, Morpheus, are you gonna help me defend, bud?
Here's a pop quiz. What's the most popular 5v5 MOBA game?
I also like the skybox in this level, showing a massive mass what appears to be code, almost looking like a galaxy. Literally cyberspace. The boss still sucks though. Come on, it couldn't be all sunshine and rainbows. Don't worry though, if you stand at the edge of the ship, they just freeze. The more things change, the more they stay the same. This boss drops an extremely short-range flamethrower type weapon, named the Network Streamer, with the unique ability to heal back your health, not armor, just regular health, by dealing damage. Yeah, out of all the new weapons, this is the new one I use the least. After defending the ship, Morpheus tells our hero that the evil who's after them is named the Cubic, which explains all the Rubik's Cube theming going on with all the weapons. And to defeat him, our hero must gather the 3 champions of the 3 Cubic games, starting with Dota 2, but instead of a D, it's the first 3 letters of the word cube. You know, after that first level, I'm really excited to see what comes next.
We're 50.
Alright, back to complaining. First of all,
Because of the Elise. Why is it so fucking massive?
I spent most of my time in this level running around this massive flat plain looking for ammo, while all the enemies are 30 miles away from me. Speaking of enemies, I like the theming of the map, with there being grass and fire enemies. I don't know what they're called, I don't play Dota. I also assume these little shop stands where the coin and gem are located are also a reference to Dota, along with these large tower structures around the map. I don't know, man, I just know that the ranged grass enemy makes the same hurt noise as the army man. That sounds like they're yelling out the F word. Now that we're done talking about that boring shit, let's talk about my son. This trebuchet might be the single dumbest enemy ever seen in a video game. I'm pretty sure they copy and pasted the range AI, and did nothing to compensate for the different projectile. Like, the range they start shooting at would be fine for a normal range enemy, whose projectile would go indefinitely in a straight line. But for the trebuchet, they can't hit you from that range. So they're just kind of standing there like a lead-eating troglodyte, waiting for you to run into their projectiles. Also, they overshoot when you're too close. Like, I don't even know why they're here. What's their role on the team? I thought originally they were meant to punish players who go high up on these towers or something, where the other enemies can't get to you. But if you actually go that high, they just start doing this. I don't get why they do this. They're the only enemy in the campaign who shoots an arcing projectile like this, and it doesn't work. They're just so stupid, and that's why I love them. Now it's time to beat the champion of Cube Dota 2.
Oh shoot, it's a projectile guy. That runs at... Oh. I see.
As you can see, he's a bit much. What you might have not seen is the fire enemies continuously spawning in throughout the boss fight. We've seen before bosses spawn alongside regular enemies, but before, when they die, they're gone. For good, they're dust. But here, when you kill a regular enemy, another one will just spawn in and take its place. The strategy I figured out for this guy is to just alternate between the tops of the towers and shoot the boss when he comes over. And after we kill the boss, we get the disconnector. Love the cheesy names, by the way. Which is a melee weapon. Which doesn't sound that good on the surface. I call the network streamer bad because of its short range, and melee weapons are even worse in that regard. But don't worry, it shoots a projectile. But even with the projectile, its slow fire rate and slow projectile makes it a worse damage dealer than the system admin and flash drive in my experience. Why am I saying this? Who's gonna use this information? An AI who's gonna make YouTube videos about this game? Aside from that, yep, this is just a normal campaign level. Let's hope the next level, Teleportal, will fare better. This is quite a change in tone and art style, but I'm down for it. You know, I planned that joke before starting the level. But yeah, that's just the portal turret. And the champion is talking about cake. You might not tell if you're not a true gamer, but that's an epic reference right there. I like the portal theming of this level, with the starting room for Portal 1, and the sign art on the wall teaching the mechanics of the level, along with a weapon that an enemy uses, but does not work as described on the sign. I like it because it reminds me of a better game I could be playing instead of this one. Speaking of enemies, we have the actual threatening one, and the upper two. Wanna know why? You can stay on one of these elevated sides of the map, and only the guys with the guns can hurt you. You don't even need to rocket jump to get up there. The portals and the jump pads, the two main gimmicks of the level, get you up there, and despite being the two main gimmicks of the level, enemies can't use them. But with the level's current layout, that's probably a good thing. Don't want to be shooting down at enemies, then a turret comes in for a portal and starts releasing on it. Another problem with the portals is that for the ones who lead up to a high ledge, the ledges are too small, so if you run into a portal and don't stop yourself once you cross the portal, you'll just fly off the ledge. Alright, how do I transition to the boss now?
Is it a... Oh, hi. Yeah, you're here. And the boss, get over here. Please, I want... Oh, that's a cool blast radius. What?
So the strategy I got for this guy, their name is Cake and he look like this. To use the portals like I'm having a seizure, to lure the boss into an area where I can shoot it, but it can't shoot me. And since I'm on a high elevated platform, they're doing that slow locking thing. And once they start shooting me, I'll just move to this direction and repeat the cycle again. Watch this.
I wanna be... I fucked it. Why did it go this way? Where am I? No!
Shit. Alright, so after successfully beating the boss, our hero gets the antivirus, which is our sniper rifle for this world. And much like the sniper rifle from before, it's probably the best weapon we have. For damage, at least. Along with this, it has the fancy abilities of piercing enemies and bouncing off walls, which can be combined together to hit the same enemy multiple times with one bullet. With there being 3 champions and the last 2 levels being based on Valve games, I wonder what game the next level is going to be based on. You know, when I think of Valve, 6 IPs come to my mind. Yeah, sorry Alien Swarm. And with Dota and Portal gone, that leaves these 4 IPs. Anyways, Roblox Zombie with FNAF animatronics, fuck you. You know when I said that levels will be better if they have unique objective? Yeah, the level still has to be well designed and not want to make me kill myself. This is literally a Roblox Zombie with like enemies dumped everywhere. I know platformers existed since forever ago, but this is literally Roblox Zombie level design. The way you lose in this level is interesting. You don't lose from dying, you lose from running out of time, which is difficulty dependent. There are many checkpoints dotted around the map that you choose to activate. The amount of activations you have is also difficulty dependent, which doesn't sound all that useful if you want to get 3 stars, but I'll get to that later. This map is an absolute mess. It made me want to eat drywall when I first played it. So I just found it better to just show you it instead of my incessant yapping I've been doing this entire time.
Boy, it's time to use that sniper rifle. What the fuck is... What the shit? Oh, why is there enemies here? I'm busy. Can I just walk past you guys? You don't seem like much of a threat at me. Oh, that doesn't work on this. Yoshi! And ow. This seems like a hell. This doesn't sound like... Why is there another enemy here? This weapon will do one thing get it to do. It deletes the projectiles. He's... What is happening to his projectiles? Oh, it's the thorns. God.
Hello there.
Why? Is there a way to like, me to destroy the enemy spawns? Oh, that eviscerates that guy. I don't even. It's trying to fucking jump on the ledge. Oh, cool. I just didn't get to see that. This is the scout run. You shot me midair. Stop spawning these! Why is the game spawning enemies after I got here? This is actual ass. Who designed this? LJ, fuck you. Why are you not? What is happening? Why do you just dump? You just can't. Oh, it's just the same start. I thought it'd be like time-based. No, this is hell.
You know, I was planning after beating this on easy mode to come back later like 1-7, but after I beat it on easy, I went, yeah, this isn't as bad as I thought. I could probably 3-star this. And after some practicing, here's this.
Alright, I've gone through my training arc, and I think I'm ready to beat the level. So you want to do is I shoot this guy, but don't kill him, because if you kill him, like some other guy is gonna just respawn in that spot. And that's gonna be like a common theme throughout this like level, it's like shooting guys from very far away. To like not killing them from very far away. Let me shoot the people over here, because they are a real pain in the ass to deal with, and they're actually in their area. Where is your head hitboxer? How are you not dead? If I knew how much damage these guys could take until they died. Ah! Ah! Oh my god, I hate this so much. Give it up for oh my, those were tight. Alright, here's this part that here's that fucking part that I hate. The fucking part that I hate. The fucking part that I hate. Straight lines, please. Probably like, no, I was gonna say it was gonna be easier on a phone, but no. Here's hell. Just take your time on this part, it's not that long. I think we might be able to do it. Kill yourself. What the? There's a wall there? Echo? It's just so tense, even though like there's like Walmart music playing in the background. 30 seconds. Gotta make it up there, bro. Before the ops, before they spawn. Please, please. What do you mean?
And then I did it again.
Now this time, surely it will give me all three. Okay, I think what?
So apparently after some research online and testing in game, this level has a different 3rd-star requirement than taking no HP damage. The game doesn't say this. The closest thing is the loading screen for this level, which says, finish the whole route as fast as possible to get 3 stars, which is very vague. But the actual requirement for this level is beating it under 3 minutes. And it doesn't matter if you take any HP damage. I didn't learn all this until I was already doing level 5, so I decided to go finish that first and come back here. But as you see on my level selection screen, level 5 didn't go so well. And I didn't go back to this level. So I'll put my closing thoughts on this level here. So, giving it some time, after my, pretty bad first experience with this level, I think I actually kind of enjoyed it. It's probably because the bar is actually in hell, but I actually did like pointing a route through this entire level and move instead of doing whatever this is. It's not moving, I'll tell you that much. Also, this level had no boss fight, which is based, because come to think of it, I don't think there's a single boss in this game I enjoyed fighting. I don't know, they're all just kind of boring and miserable. After teaming up with the Jump Box champion, he was just staying at the finish line. We head over to the Cubic Citadel and find that he is cloning me? How is he doing this? I have no idea. As for the map itself, the ship is back, with the 3 champions now on it, not doing anything. Help, please. The main centerpiece of this map is this Japanese-style temple that you can rocket jump to the lowest protrusion, where you can... What? So there is this big-ass invisible wall that makes the other half of the level inaccessible. Look, I don't really need it. I can just stand up here the entire time, above the enemies. Speaking of enemies...
I want to get up there. No, give me a second!
They're a bit fast. This one was kind of like the Portal one, where the range enemy is like the only one that like can hit me, and the rest are just kind of hanging out. A nice thing about the enemies is that even though they're all clones of me, the projectile enemies have more green on them than the other types of enemies, which is useful for finding out which enemies I should shoot at first, instead of looking at the tiny gun they have in their hand. Anyway, so far this level seems all fine and dandy. So why is this the level that made me quit doing 3 stars? Anyways, here's the boss fight.
Okay. Who's the boss? Oh, what the... Huh?
After this first attempt, I went to easy mode to actually have enough time to see what the boss does. But more importantly, to see if the boss drops a weapon here. But to my excitement, he does drop a weapon. The Big Data is a heavy weapon that replaces the bad code. Yeah, you can't even use it anymore, even if you wanted to. But don't worry, this thing can climb. The way this weapon works, it has a charged and uncharged shot. The charged shot isn't that useful because of like how long it takes you to charge a shot and how slow you move when charging the shot. But the uncharged shot is still good for rocket jumping, and since this weapon has 100 ammo magazine, this is basically the ultimate rocket jumping machine, which is what we needed it to be. So after some practicing on easy mode, and remembering how the other bosses got cheese, I came to the idea of rocket jumping to the top of this cell tower over here. And since I could not do the entire distance in one jump, I had to climb. And instead of me telling you this here, I'll just tell you when I actually did it.
1 billion damage to how to climb up that tower thing. Actually, I'm just gonna show you it on easy mode because it's kind of weird to explain how I did it. But... like that, like you kind of like yank your mouse, like after you shoot, you kind of make yourself look forward after. Like it's like the only way I got myself to get up here is through that method.
After figuring out how to climb, I had this 3-star attempt.
Okay, he's up there. Now he's down there. I don't know how like this works, but like he just kind of decides if he wants to be back here or up here when I'm like on the tower. I don't know how it works. I don't know how to teleporting it. Besides, I think it's just like a random, right?
Man, this is the most boring shit of all time.
I don't want to make this video anymore. I don't want to make this video anymore. I don't want to make this video anymore. I'm not... I'm fucking sad. This is... I don't want to do this. This isn't... I hate making this video. I don't like making it. This game is awful. It drained all the...
Yeah, this is the moment where Walter White becomes Heisenberg. Yeah, this is the moment where I quit getting 3 stars in all the levels. I know I was like right at the finish line, but at this time I was like tired of this game's bullshit, man. I just wanted it to be over. Look at the gameplay. What is this? I hate this. This is awful. And since I already beat the level on easy to get the weapon, we move on to the final level of the game. Cubic. I don't care, man. I just want this to be over. The cutscene begins, and with the help of the 3 champions, we break through Cubic's defenses. Wow, Red Guy, that would have been really useful against the boss of the last level. Would have saved me the mental breakdown. How is it that 3 times in a row the final level of a world is extremely boring and sucks ass? Wanna know something? There are 0 ranged enemies on this map.
We stand on that. We stand on this. And there's 50 enemies here.
Yeah. Now on to the final boss.
Okay. What projectile are you gonna shoot at me? What the f-
Now, after whatever that was, as you can tell from the last level, I don't really give a shit anymore. But still wanting to protect my pride, I went to medium difficulty instead of easy. After dying on medium, I went to easy mode. Really pulled a Cody Miller there, huh? Cubic is probably the best boss in the game for notably having more than 1 attack. But I like how each one of his attacks has their own unique countermeasure to it. For the red projectile attack, you circle the middle so you don't get hit by the splash damage on the walls. For the yellow flamethrower attack, you run around the edge of the map so that Cubic himself gets stuck on the Tetris pieces. And for the green minigun attack, which he steals from the boss I hate, that Cubic starts using halfway through the boss fight, you hide behind a Tetris piece, having to shoot off the bomb enemies heading towards you, which is like the only time I felt threatened by these guys. So overall, best boss in the game. Still don't want to do it on hard though, even on easy he has a shit ton of health. After defeating Cubic and saying a shitty one-liner, it is revealed that this world has been a video game the entire time, and we are dragged back to where we began in this world. So this entire world was pointless. Yay! But I don't care, man. I'm just glad it's over.
I can never play this game anymore. I can never play this game anymore. Oh my.
Also, the secret bonus square is a dumb-looking hat. Yay! Man, that was shit. What did we learn? Nothing. This game sucks, I guess, but I assumed you knew that already. Kinda hate the weird nostalgic discourse surrounding this game. I know anybody can be nostalgic over anything that's called Stockholm Syndrome, but it kinda gives off the same energy as this image. But I don't really mind this image because it just feels like a child just repeating what they hear from adults around them. Or in this case, YouTube videos like this one, and social media posts saying, X-Wing is blank years old, do you feel old yet? I did this too. I remember at the end of 3rd grade, I said something like, it felt like the year just began and it's already over. Did I actually believe in what I said? No! I just said it because adults around me said stuff like that, and I wanted to sound more grown up. The same thing is happening here. What's the point of this whole tangent, you may ask? Skibidi Toilet is better than Pixel Gun 3D. A much more interesting question is, was Pixel Gun 3D ever good? It's kinda hard to tell because I don't know how to go back in time and play older versions of the game. But looking back at the game, even if I had some good memories with it, it's always been a cheap mobile game trying to capitalize on the success of Minecraft in the most obvious ways possible. It's worse now, but I don't think it was good before. As for the campaign, I'll also say no. It was consistently bad throughout. Before I played the campaign for this video, I was ready to make a video about how the first world is so much better, with cooler atmosphere and story, and how much worse and brain-rotted it became over time in each subsequent world. But like, my favorite level was the first level of World 4. I know there was like an update or something that came around during the time of the PC release that raised the difficulty to the point you saw in the video. Which, why the fuck would you do that? That's just rude. But even with the awful difficulty, my biggest problem with the campaign was the extremely boring level and enemy design. And by judging old gameplay videos by my fucking goat, this has always been a problem. 4-1 feels like the only level in the game that actually makes an attempt to fix these issues. 4-4 also made an attempt, but that shit ended like Chernobyl, man. That shit's fucking irradiated. No, Jerry, don't go in there! You're gonna get radiation poisoning and fucking die! How would I fix the campaign, you may ask? 1. Remove like 70% of the bosses. There doesn't have to be a boss for every level. Especially if most of them are just going to be beefed up versions of normal enemies. On a similar note, have a different objective for each level like seen in 4-1 and 4-4 for most or all levels. 2 examples I can think of is like for the forest level, you have to survive or protect a campfire for a certain amount of time because, story-wise, our hero spends the entire night there. And for Area 52, you must collect 10 government secrets or some shit scattered on the map to beat the level. And for the obvious one, yeah, tone down the difficulty. Giving enemies 1 billion health is not a fun way to make a game difficult. Also, don't make it required to restart every single level to unlock World 4. That's just cruel and unusual behavior. Seriously, what's the point of having multiple difficulty options if you need to play the first 3 worlds on hard anyways? So yeah, Cubic Games, if you're listening to this, do that. Of course this game sucks. The studio and the villain share the same name. This is like if the president of Nintendo was named Bowser. Or if the studio making Halo games was named after 343 Guilty Spark. And more importantly, fuck this stupid game. I hope I never play it again.